Hey guys, welcome to Waste. Actually, it's not Waste on Wednesday. Sorry.
Paintapalooza.
Hey guys, welcome to Paintapalooza. It's sometime on Tuesday. We go live and we paint the stuff that's sold. This week we have not as much stuff as previous weeks to do. I think that's largely due in part to the fact that Zeba and I have been painting till our little fingers are numb. And so we're going to get everything painted that's sold. But then I also have a couple projects that haven't sold that I'm going to work on. Caitlin is getting her boys from school, so I don't think she's going to be on here today. So I'll go ahead and drop a link to JamieRayVintage.com, which is where you can get paint products or buy our thrift flips. So it was a good day. You guys are going to enjoy Thursday's video because we already went thrifting. It was half off day in Goodwill.
We've been having a good string of luck as far as like sales, grand openings, just finding good stuff.
Now,
It's been a good couple of weeks thrifting.
I was thinking we would go back to the bins on Thursday, but when there's half off day, I'm not going to the bins. I'm not missing half off day for the bins. The bins has good stuff, but we never get like as much stuff and not always as good of stuff. We get weird variety of stuff and a few random good
I was gonna
things.
say a weird variety. That's a good way to put that.
I feel like the last 6 months at the bins is more digging and less finding than we did when we first got started. I don't know if they're just not sending us quality of stuff to the bins, but I'm like, if I was always finding really good stuff in a good amount of time, I would be more motivated to go. But when I'm there for an hour and a half and I find like half a cart of stuff, like that just isn't.
Well, even
hard.
the books, I used to find like entire bins full of old antique books, and I could kind of cherry pick what I wanted. Now the books are like half falling apart, or they're like brand new, or magazines.
Oh, Zeb, is your mic not on? Somebody said Zeb's mic. Maybe it's just upside down.
It's on. And it's showing that it's picking up. And
Double check. Is anybody besides Denise having a problem with Zeb's mic? Sometimes it's just like certain.
Maybe
Yeah, I can see both of them on the little
maybe
thing.
because it's broken down, but it's registering
Yeah,
here
it's
that it's
good.
getting full volume. So
I think we normally have such good sound that occasionally when it's not as good, people definitely notice. Live videos are definitely hard. Also, I have no idea what happened on Monday's video with the slow-mo, and then I do know what happened to the sound. We have to edit every single clip, and I use software, and it goes through and it like removes the background noise, increases our voice, because otherwise, like especially in that Goodwill, you would not have been able to hear us. It was annoying just to edit because it was like squeak, squeak, squeak because of all the people buying clothes. And my app was being really weird, and it was like, oh, we can't process this, so I was having to go back and do it. And normally I process it and then listen to it, and it was just like going on and on and on. And there were just a few clips where it picked up somebody else talking and tried to bump it, but then it made it sound garbled. Anyways, that's what happens when that happens. And I had already been editing for like 4 hours, and I was over
some
it.
people get really concerned about it. I'm like, just keep watching. It'll fix
Yeah,
itself.
it'll go away.
It'll sort out.
And it's definitely better than when you watch some content you can't hear them at all. So, and we tried wearing mics out thrifting, but then we would accidentally like hit the mics and it would change the sound. Although these don't have that, do they?
It's on the receiver.
Oh, okay.
It's not on the actual.
But then we have to have the receiver with us.
I'd have to plug it into one phone or the other, and you'd have to get us. We had 2 sets. That's what we had to do.
Oh, you
before.
sound muffled. Somebody said, "Is that?" I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe she might have been behind. I'm gonna go in the other room and I'm gonna listen to it because Caitlin's not on here.
Here, I'll flip it around so that it's.
Sometimes it's just.
There we go. We'll tuck it in. Maybe that'll help. These have been planted in, so I'm going to give them a little bit of a scrub because I'm going to decoupage. This is like the baking labels. It doesn't really have that name. It's part of the March subscription paper. So if you want this, it's one of 4 papers that comes with your subscription. But I'm actually going to be putting these on these boxes. I thought it'd be fun. I know they're planters boxes, but a lot of times old crates and stuff are used to make planters. So I feel like it fits.
I just listened to it. You sound fine. I don't know. Maybe they're just picking up one sound over the other one.
Or it's playing in the left or right side of their headphones.
If you're wearing,
and they got like a bad headphone on the left side. Who knows?
Yeah, if you're ever wearing headphones and the sound is weird, take them off and try regular and see if that's better. No, you're good, Denise. I just like to know because if we sometimes
try not to go like
stuff.
half an hour with that sound, and then we could have fixed it.
For real. I am going to use plaster on this. It's already cream, but I do not. It's like It's like ew, cream. So I'm gonna give it a better cream paint job, and then I'll probably use
It's like cream with like yellow glaze is what it looks like.
It's gone yellow. I don't like it. So I'm repainting it. Leslie said she hopped out and hopped back in. So if it's still not sounding right, hop out and hop back in. And somebody on Facebook said we sound fine. So it could be YouTube, because YouTube was having a struggle the other day. I don't remember when it was, but YouTube was like, everybody was fine on Facebook, and then YouTube was having a struggle. So what are you doing? You putting those labels on?
I'm just gonna decoupage them straight on.
Okay, really cute. You're looking forward to the cake stands being decorated. Most of those are not getting decorated, actually.
Quite a few of them are marble and like a whitewash on the wood, kind of like this.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything to the plastic ones. I actually don't think there's, if I had my way, I don't think we're doing any of them. Are there any, maybe staged up cute, but I don't think there's anything that actually needs to be painted, is there?
Might be. I think there's a tin one that
Might get painted.
Mm-hmm.
Because I only paint them if the original is just like super unfortunate, because cake stands are better used as cake stands. And then once you paint them, they're not like food safe and usually like washable as much. Yeah, Facebook is good. So if there's any weird sounds, it's probably YouTube being weird at this point. But yeah, so we had a really good day thrifting. Yesterday was a busy day. I'm glad that we did everything ahead, because I did get done about 1:30 with the field trip that I went on with Jack. But then I had to run errands, pick up something for Zeb for the cheer banquet, because we always do the video for the cheer banquet every year. And then by the time I was done, I had like half hour between that and then going to the cheer banquet. And then it was so busy getting things set up, and not everybody remembered to bring their clothes with them. So I was like one of the few people that planned ahead and had my outfit. So I stayed there from like 3:30 to like 8:30. How many hours is that?
No, we didn't get home until 9:45 after we cleaned up.
Oh, okay. Well, that's how long I was at the cheer banquet. It was a good long time, but it was worth it. It was so fun. The girls had a great time. It looked really good. I usually don't do much by way of like planning for the cheer banquet. We just do the video, which takes quite a few hours. And then I show up and I'm a set of hands to help out, because sometimes that's just really what's needed. And then we usually don't have anybody like assigned to help clean up, but I think next year we might do that when we do the cheer banquet. This year, not as many people stayed to clean up like they
Well, I
usually
don't even know who brought all this stuff. I'm like, there's all this stuff that needs to go somewhere, but there's no one that says, hey, this goes in my truck.
Yeah.
Can you load it in? I have no idea where it went. I'm just like twiddling my thumbs, putting up cafeteria tables for an hour.
Well, one of the things I did that they may not, I like when the party's over, the party's over. So I start cleaning up all the plates, because we usually do like plastic tablecloths. We have a lot of tables. And if your stuff is still on the table, like your purse, whatever, I like move it to the side, roll the tablecloth up, put it back. And I'm like, I don't know, everybody likes me touching their stuff.
I got to the point where I was just setting stuff on the floor because I needed to move the tables.
Well, you were moving the tables. I was before then, like clearing the tables.
I was like, these people are just going to talk all night if I don't move this.
Well, they can clearly see you're cleaning up. Like when you see people start to clean up the tables, then you go get your stuff. That's how that works.
I think some of it was girl stuff, and they're all getting their pictures taken.
Yeah, but they have parents.
So I literally just like took it off the table and left it sitting on the middle of the cafeteria.
Because I love y'all, but I'm not going to stay there until
I waited for those to be the last tables, but it had been, I was like half an hour into moving tables, and I was like, all right.
I did have one thing fall, but it didn't break. I like moved something and it fell over, and Mom's like, did it break? I'm like, no, it didn't break. I would have felt bad about that. But this year I was also smart because I brought an apron. I always wind up helping with the food, and other humans are much neater than I am. I am not neat, and so I wore an apron to help set up the food buffet and to clean it up afterwards. And the shop everybody took all of our giant silver platters that we need to wash now and did the dessert table. So that came in handy. Lori says that the needlepoint chair was awesome and cheap. I feel like $30 is okay, but that chair was not actually antique. It was 90s. So like not vintage, retro at best. If it had been antique, like antique needlepoint, then it would have been a little bit different. But it wasn't. It was not super precious. And we're not shipping as much stuff if it doesn't fit in a box. So it wouldn't have really made sense to like buy it to ship. And locally, I don't know that it would have sold for that much. And I also have a bunch of chairs in the barn. I'm a chair hoarder, so I got to be careful. So I just thought maybe if I show it, somebody would come and buy it.
All right, really quick, liquid patina. It's the crystal clear version. There's also a dark and decrepit version, which is like a brownish stain, looks like dark walnut. There's an old and gray version, which is a gray stain. And then I think, no, they're just those other two, huh?
There's liquid patina, crystal clear chandelier.
Oh, and then you have golden ticket, which is
Golden
like the
ticket.
gold.
Yeah.
I knew there was one I was missing.
And Lori says in my area, a plastic chair is more than $30. Well, not here.
Okay, so liquid patina underneath
And if I had needed it, I would have totally got that chair because it was super cute.
and liquid patina on top. I'm gonna probably sand those edges off that go over. Okay, I like that.
Let's see. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. You know what we need to work on, Deb,
A release?
is new papers and stencils.
Yeah, I have a
been
bunch
so
actually
busy.
that I've been doing in the behind the scenes, but I haven't actually printed anything off to check color and format and all that. So
Stay tuned for that, probably sometime in March. It may be papers first and then stencils. Stencils take longer because they have to go to my manufacturer and then she formats them and stuff. So it's a little bit longer. I did not get my last delivery from England. It's still stuck in customs last I checked. I mean, I haven't checked for like 3 weeks because it gets a little old and depressing to check all the time. But if it gets her, I'm gonna there will be a video, there will be celebratory.
it has really amazing art in it. Some that we spent more than we normally would because we were going to keep it for us. And so we like heirloom type pieces.
That doesn't look like much, but it'll look better once it's all done. It's just cream. It's cream, and it was cream before. Right, next up, I think I'm gonna just do provincial or plaster around this too, but I'm gonna need a bigger brush. Can you pass me a bigger brush?
Yeah, this is hanging over the edge enough. I decided to just wet cut this one. Hopefully that focuses. You guys can see it all right. Just like that. Did you guys see how fast that was? If I had to paint it, I'd be waiting for paint to dry. But no biggie, you know, I could have just heat done it or something real quick.
The good news is I think we've painted enough stuff out of our garage that Zeb can get in there and like really go through it. Fun fact, we're gonna paint a organizer here that Zeb was like, we've had that for a long time. Maybe we need to redonate that. And
I was
it's
about
sold.
to take it back and it sold Sunday. Like literally it was on the chopping block in the garage.
I would have probably done something with it, but
It's like last minute, someone shot that arrow and broke the rope.
saved it. All right. I'm trying to be neat with my paint finish here, but I can always just put new moss. Although the moss on here isn't too bad. It's overcast. My mom's like, how come there's no snow? It's overcast and rainy, but it is not really cold enough to snow right now.
No, it's like 50s.
It was cold we went to the new Goodwill that we hit up last Thursday that was in Monday's video. It was totally picked over. And they were Zeb was cold. That's how cold their
I was
shop
like, you must be freezing because I just wear like a windbreaker unless I'm going to be outside in the weather because I sweat to death inside. If I go inside and I got the heater cranking at like 70 or whatever. But I was pretty chilly in my windbreaker. And I'm like, you're probably freezing.
I don't think that what I'm working on has sold yet, but I'm painting it nonetheless, because if we don't paint more than we sell every week, then we'll wind up with the current situation that we've been trying to fix, which is boxes and boxes of things that need to be painted.
So on these, this paper, if you wanted to get it, it comes with one sheet of this. And I might be doing more labels for spring. Don't hold me to it. I've been working on them, but they take a while to get this to look right because I'm like designing these from the ground up. So Crownwell's self-raising flour was never a real brand. I made that up. I think it's fun.
Somebody asked what's the farthest we'll go to a DI. About half hour.
Yeah.
Is about the max. I mean, occasionally we'll go further, but like there's really no need to, so what's the point?
We saw a little mini kiln at the back of the donation of a Goodwill today, and I added, they don't sell out of the back ever. And I'm like, hey, can you go ask your manager to just, I'll give you $100 for this kiln right now. She's like, no, we got to process it. It'll go through tonight and be out on the floor tomorrow, probably. I can't guarantee that. It might sit back here for a week or two. I don't know. And so she's like, just keep checking back. We open at 10 a.m. I'm like, I'm never gonna like put that much effort into finding something thrifted.
In answer to your question though, the new Goodwill is about half hour from where we live. It's about as far as we go. We go as far as into Salt Lake.
The bins are about half hour. That's like right at the edge of half hour. There are some good thrift stores farther north.
But they're not necessarily better than what we have.
It's not. They're not going to have anything really different than what we're finding here. They're just different locations.
The only time we go up north to thrift is if we're already there anyways. Like we've gone up north when we've gone for cheer competitions or whatever, because we always wind up thrifting in between stuff. But
if we're up there for like a wrestling tournament or a football game or whatever it is, cheer, we will hit it up. Especially cheer and wrestling. Sometimes you got like hours in between stuff.
We do have a new drop cloth.
Yeah.
We have our old one. I might sell it, but I'm going to donate the money to charity. But I also need to get like 2 seconds to actually do that. So that's probably not happening anytime soon.
So in case you're wondering on the size of this, these are 5-inch boxes and these are 4-inch boxes. So that gives you kind of an idea of what those labels will cover. Because I think they actually look pretty cool just sitting here by each other, hanging out.
Those are cute. Somebody bought, I think, both of the big ones and one of the small ones. One of the small ones may still be available. I'm not sure.
And then set these over here to dry.
Vicky says I'm like Wilson from Home Improvement. And I'm like over the fence.
That is, you do look like you're peeking over that edge.
A lot of people talk about how good our thrift stores are. And if you have areas without a lot of good thrift stores, there's a couple of things. One, you might not have the population. The population of Utah is like 3 million something, but most people live in the I-15 corridor, which is like right by where we're at.
We're in the middle of that I-15 corridor.
So we have the bulk of our population is within 30 minutes of us either direction. So that helps a lot. You also might not have people that donate a lot of good stuff. Like if the people here are very much into donating their stuff, I'm not saying people don't do yard sales or estate sales because they totally do. But a lot of people will just donate. Like their grandma dies and they just take everything.
Well, and we have long winters. It's hard to do a yard sale in the winter.
Yeah. Other places have way more estate sales, and there's not as many. There are a lot of resellers, but not as many as the stuff that gets donated. So we just get a lot of really quality donations. So it's not so much that our thrift stores are better. It's just they're getting better stuff. I do think because DI is such a great thrift store that Goodwill has to compete with them. So if they want to stay open here, they can't charge $1 million for things. They can't have gross displays. They got to be a little bit competitive, or they just wouldn't be open because DIs are really good. Very well ran, very organized. I mean, they're still working with people that are like job rehabbing at DI, and somewhat in Goodwill. They'll have some employees. Goodwill, not as much, but DI does a lot of people like they need to know how to work. So they're dealing with employees that might not be the most trained workforce. So you have to be patient with that, but they have things so organized that even though that's the case, they do well. And they have a lot of really great management that manages those people and really helps them learn how to be a quality worker. And the idea is that they have a certain amount of time, I'll have to put that on, at DI, they have a certain amount of time that they're there, And they don't get to work there forever unless they're management, because then they give an opportunity to somebody else to work there. So they're rotating through staff.
They try to hire the management from people that come up from their program.
Oh, it seems like the mics aren't on. So would you double check and make sure? Because she said when I walked away, they couldn't hear me. But I don't.
Oh, you know what? I wonder if it's on somehow on the laptop, and that's why we're all quiet. I bet you swap back over.
Zebulon. You're always telling.
I was looking at the register thing. It was taking it. There you go. You should be able to hear us loud and clear now. They're hearing you great the whole time unless you walk away.
That would be why. Well, that's a good thing that I read the comments. And I keep
See,
up.
we
See, we do need you guys to comment because then we don't know what's going on. Technology is hard.
Well, and I had that checked, and then the camera
But
wouldn't.
I could hear you. It wasn't completely unfortunate. I just got my hair in the.
Don't burn your hair, girl.
It wasn't completely unfortunate. I went in the other room and listened to it on YouTube, and I could hear it. It just wasn't super great quality. It was like old school quality, like before we had mics.
Do you
We're
have?
just trying to take it back a few years.
Do you have Apothecary out?
What? Lori says, "See, I told you." I know, but the thing is, I can't really like push them too much because he doesn't like it. He doesn't like to be told things. I don't know if you know this. He's practically perfect in every way. He really is. I mean, he's candy.
Oh, sure.
He's
sure.
good looking. He likes to go thrifting, but man does not like to be told what to do as far as like technology setup goes. So I had to be gentle with it. But now we're here.
I can't decide what color to do that. Do you have Americana out? I'm thinking that or just plaster with some transfer on the bottom.
Oh, plum pudding would be good.
Oh, I have a whole thing of plum pudding.
I love myself some plum pudding. He's also very good to go like clothes shopping with because he will be honest with me and some husbands are like, yeah, it looks good. Like Zeb will be honest about the way things look.
Sometimes she doesn't always like the honesty because she really likes something and she wanted it to work.
He'll be like, oh, you should get 2 of those. That's really great. Like he's not always worried about like, oh, it's going to cost me too much money.
You're going to buy it anyway.
Well, here's the thing. You know that if I don't really look that great in it, I'll eventually stop wearing it and then money will be wasted. And if I do really like it, then it'll be hard for me to find something else I like as much. So you're usually pretty good to shop with.
I also am the guy that's like, you have 13 things in your closet that look exactly like that. Just wear those.
And I do what I want. Speaking of my closet, I did just list some more things. I have some really great on clouds listed. They're 8.5s. They're about half size bigger than I really wear. I wear 8s, but I bought them because they were on sale. And so they haven't really been worn that much. And I put them through the washing machine. So they're super clean. So those are listed because I got some new ones that were not on sale. Anybody who knows about on clouds, they're very expensive shoes. And then I listed some leggings, pretty inexpensive for the most part. I did like groupings of them because they're not like super high-end brands, but they're good leggings. And some of them may have a little bit of paint splatter on them, nothing major, just a few specks here and there. And I didn't realize that we went in this morning to the shop and we're helping out a little bit. Zeb was shipping Cortrina's bench and I was pulling orders, and we have sold so many of the brooches and socks, which makes me excited because I want to carry more of them, but I just never know what people are going to like. So if you haven't checked that out, you should do so because they are selling really, really well, which means we may be out of some of them soon. Because I only ordered like 3 of each style just to see what people like the most. Caitlin is not here. She is picking up her boys from school. And then my nephew had an allergy appointment. He had a severe allergy to peanuts and then dogs. And the peanuts went away, but the dogs stayed. It was dog saliva. And he's now okay to be around them, but he has to do monthly allergy shots.
Yeah, she used to have to carry an EpiPen for the dogs.
Yeah. And dogs is really hard because they're everywhere, and not everybody keeps their dogs on leashes. And even if they do, if they get too close and they lick your kid, it's like a whole situation.
Well, I remember we were watching her other son play soccer, and the son that needs that has the dog allergy, we're just chilling there, right? And someone's got their dog off the leash, and it's a very friendly, nice dog, but it's literally going around like sniffing, smelling everybody, touching its nose to everything. And he just like comes apart. Like he freaked out because He does not
Nobody
want
wants to not
to
be
have
able
to
to
go into anaphylactic shock because a dog came and put their nose on him.
Vicky says you're hoping I know all the good tables at Kobe's. They change, so it depends on who's there. There's always good stuff. We usually get there like right when it opens, but California runs like.
Well, and they never have the same spot too. So like even if you're like this vendor always has good stuff, you got to go find them.
Well, they're not always set up. So you do your initial round while they're setting up, and then you go around again. In a lot of other places, people are set up by the time they open. But listen, people in California, they're going to get there when they get there, and they're going to set up when they set up. They have a lot of sunshine, and they're mostly chill.
Yeah, in England, if you're late as a shopper, you're going to miss it because they've already been set up for several hours. And after it's been open for like an hour and people have been going through, they start packing up.
Yeah, you could still be going through, and they're like, yeah, it's time to go home. I was here for 2 hours. I don't want to spend my whole day here. Which... valid. Get there and buy the stuff. Okay, I'm gonna have to do like 3 coats. This thing was so slick. I might even have to do 4 coats.
Kobe's is fun though. I really enjoy it. It's probably the closest thing we have here, at least like West Coast that I've been to, that's like a boot fair.
Yeah, it's a swap meet. I always tell people, if you want to know what a car boot is a English swap meet. Yeah. And I like them better than flea markets because flea markets, even though they're similar, you have a lot of resellers and you're not going to get a good deal from a reseller. Like very few and far between are you going to find something that it is. And sometimes you may even pay more because flea market flipping and buying is so trendy. Sometimes you pay more than what we even sell it for because it's at a flea market. Like the Rose Bowl one, kind of expensive. I only know mostly from watching other people because I don't really frequent flea markets that much.
Well, even when we went to the one in Hawaii, that was
that was mostly just like
University Highway. It was a lot. There was some good I was fascinated. They were doing like some, we'll call it tribal carvings. While we were sitting there, I was like watching them do it. I'm like, that's amazing.
Some of their tribal things are made in China and shipped to Hawaii. That's a lot of what
this particular booth, they were making it.
Yeah, they were making it from scratch. But
and I appreciate that.
I think Saturdays at the Oahu one. It's in Honolulu, I think. I think they have like.
Yeah, they do it at I don't even know if the stadium is still up and running, but it used to be the University of Hawaii Stadium.
Do they swap at swap meets? I've seen vendors swap stuff. Mostly you're just swapping junk for cash. All right, this is going to need 4 coats. That's all right.
Was it slick?
Yeah, it was not. There was no porous.
I think I'll probably get away with 2 coats. So this is the plum pudding in the cottage colors. And then I'm going to get this all covered up good. We'll do probably a pretty decent distress on it. Get the knobs and hooks back on. It's also going to get some floral here and probably here up on top.
In the meantime, I'm just going to be putting 50 coats on this. But look, already it looks better. It was like some weird paint finish. Jackie says there's a pretty good one down in Vegas called Broad Acres. No, we actually went to one of the few auctions we've ever gone to in Vegas. We will definitely be trying to hit up more auction houses when we go to England, if they're like in our area, because it was fun. Vic's Picks and Flips says, I've been doing Gray Skies lately. Gray Skies is good. I need to bring that out. I have a bunch. Since I made Provincial, which is kind of a grayish, I feel like I've been using that more, but
I can do Gray Skies on my little pots.
Yeah, that would be good. In honor of Vic's Picks and Flips. All right. Sorry, I bubbled that a little bit. I'm just going to push it down, just adding some texture. Our shop is pretty good, Cortrina, but you're going to have to arrange for like, well, what you guys can do is if you fly to Utah and you come to the shop, you can order stuff online while you're in the store. So let's say you're like, I want all this stuff, but it's not going to fit in my bag because we're set up to ship. We can ship anything. I actually tell my girls that when people come in and say, oh, but I'm traveling, be like, no, we can ship it for you. That's a service we offer. We have to pay for shipping, but if you're there, you can fit up. Like the more you buy, typically the less per item it is to ship it. And you could totally do yourself up an order and they could do it online, but like while you're in the shop, just make an online order and put shipping in there and they could ship it to you.
This can, I think, got hidden in the back.
Is this plant's bigger than me? Yeah, it is. It's pretty large. That's why I like it. Some topiaries are smaller, but this is like a hedge square. All right, let me heat on this one side.
Oh.
Oh, nice, Vic. I'm glad you got your ticket to San Diego. We have sold, I think, like 8 tickets, so we're almost at that. And when we sell one more ticket, we'll be half sold out, which is so exciting. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's, I'm not going to lie, it's kind of nice because we totally planned on just going and paying for the trip. And now, because we're selling tickets to this.
You should give them context. You just jumped in, didn't tell them what the tickets are for.
Oh, I will in a minute. Because we're selling tickets to our California event. It's actually going to pay for our trip. So I'm kind of excited about that. I mean, we would do it anyways because we love Debbie, but we're going to be going back to San Diego in July. So this should pay for our trip this time. And if we can sell the rest of the tickets, it'll pay for our trip in July. But anyways, what Vix is talking about is on April 10th, we're doing a thrift with Zeb and I. We're actually going to be going to Kobe's swap meet. And we're going to help you guys thrift and find things. And Debbie's going to be there and Dion will be there. And Sally, I don't know if Sally from IOD will be there yet. She sometimes is super busy and she'll fly in for what she's doing and then fly out. So I'm not really sure.
Well, she still has little kids at home.
Yes, she does. She had a late life baby and she's so cute. But anyways, and then we're going to go back and we'll go over all your flips, answer your questions, and just really help you go through kind of the process of what we do, but like in person. And then there's going to be other classes. We're selling tickets just for our class, but if you want to do other things, Dion's tickets are up for her hats. And then Debbie, hopefully by the end of the week, will have her tickets up. She's going to do a thing where you can just use all of her Iron Orchid designs with her and Sally, who is the owner of Iron Orchid Design. So that'll be a fun class. And Deb and I should be around for most of the classes. I think Dion is doing 2 on Saturday. And I think we might go to one of her classes. And then we have some family friends that we might go see. We'll see. We're going to be there. We get in Thursday, so we'll spend all day with Thursday getting the shop ready with Debbie. That's what we're flying in early Thursday morning, so we have a whole day to help Debbie get ready because it's her grand opening weekend. And then Friday, Saturday are classes, and then we'll be there Sunday, and we don't fly out till Monday evening, so we will be doing friends and family stuff Sunday and Monday. And if I buy anything and it doesn't fit my suitcase, I can just ship it myself from Debbie. She has all the supplies and I can have labels sent to me from the shop. Cortrina says she loves that we'd ship for her. She doesn't have any problem shopping. Oh, I know, girl. I know.
I just shipped your bench this morning.
Yeah, that's why I told
It actually lived at the foot of our bed for a while. And then Caitlin's like, hey, Cortrina wants that. You gotta take it to the shop and ship it.
Yeah, for real. And San Diego Airport is a lovely airport to fly into. It's not super huge, but it's set up nice.
It's easy to get in and out of.
It's easy to get in and out of. It is like in the downtown area, but hey, if you get in early, you can stop by the Goodwill bins there in downtown.
It's so close.
It's so close to the airport. We won't have a car, so we're going to be with Debbie. I mean, if we need to for like Sunday and Monday, we could rent a car, but I think we'll be all right.
Well, Debbie doesn't like to drive, so anytime I'm in town, if we go anywhere, I drive.
So. That is, yeah. And if Ellie's with her, Ellie drives. And that's fine by Zeb because he doesn't like when other people drive.
I don't like to ride, so it works out for me.
Who do we use for shipping? We use UPS, and then recently on our trip to England, if you're asking international, we use DHL. But it wasn't any cheaper. It was actually more expensive to ship DHL. But at the time, we were worried about a lot of packages were getting stuck because of tariffs. Now, sometimes I feel like articles are propaganda, so it could have all been blown way out of proportion. But I couldn't risk that my UPS packages wouldn't come, and DHL is more set up, at least in Europe, for international shipping. So we went with them, and all but one of our packages arrived. So, and the one that didn't arrive did get stuck in customs, but that's not DHL's fault that I know of. All right, I think 4 coats is the magic number here. Holy moly.
Yeah, we shipped back an antique musket that didn't even get stuck in customs.
Have you been recently? For a while during the renovation, the airport was a pain. Oh, maybe. I don't know. When's the last time Eliza flew out of San Diego airport?
She was fine.
At Christmas, and it was fine. I mean, it may not be super attractive while they're remodeling, but as far as like flying in and out, it was fine. Now, what I tell you, the airport I'm not impressed by is the Santa Ana airport. I wanted to redo their entire security situation because it was a hot mess. There weren't that many people trying to get through, and they did not have it set up well. And when you're a natural born problem solver, you know, you like to make things better. It's hard not to be like, well, if you gave me half an hour, I could fix
Well, we
this.
both got through the thing, and it like, so as soon as you get through the security checkpoint, it dumps all of your stuff that you had to take out of your pockets and your carry-on that they scan through the little machine. And it just like dumps it out right there where everybody's standing. There's like nowhere to stand or put your belt back on or your shoes or anything like that. And so everybody was just kind of bunched up and in the way of each other.
Vicki says she's going to try to figure out where they need to stay. She is renting a car. I know I do suggest looking into Airbnbs. It's always cheaper for us because we have such a big family, but hotels are not cheap. If you stay by SeaWorld in Hotel Circle, I think it's called, that's probably not too bad. But if you want to
That's also a half hour away.
Yeah, if you want to stay closer to Debbie, you're going to want to be in the Solana Beach, Del Mar, Encinitas area. And in that area, there's like the Coronado Hotel, but it's not cheap to stay there. So if you can find an Airbnb, I would suggest
What's that one right by the beach where we've stayed at a couple times?
Oh,
it's like
the
a
beach
street
club.
away. It's a street away from the beach.
Yeah. We rent condos, but if you're just two people, like if it's just Vicki and her husband, that's going to be too expensive. Like I would, well, I don't know what your budget is, but it's a little spendy. Once Debbie gets her tickets up, I will try to set up like a Facebook group so that way people can all talk to each other. I'm reminding Gina of Wilson with this hedge too. Sorry, I will be out from behind it soon. It's mostly dry. All right, I'm gonna let this cool down and then I'm gonna lightly distress it and put some transfers on this.
So this is gray skies. On camera, it's probably looking like it leans a little blue. Because it does. It's like a bluish gray.
It's a cool gray.
It's pretty dark.
Right.
It reminds me of when we carried Fairy Chalk Mother. It reminds me a little bit of gunmetal.
Oh yeah, a little bit. But gunmetal was darker.
Gunmetal was darker. A little bit darker.
I'm gonna get out the transfers. Isn't anybody surprised? If you're surprised, you haven't been here very long. I did make you a pile, Zeb, of things you need to oil.
Yeah, I saw that back there.
That we don't need to do on the video.
I might do that later because you guys have seen us
I don't
oil
think they
stuff.
need to see us sand and oil stuff now. But it does need to get done. So I pulled it out for you.
This one's been planted in. I didn't realize that before I started painting, but I was already committed.
Well, let's just do this whole page from by any other name. Deborah says she misses the old drop cloth. And that is so funny because
we get a lot of complaints. People are like, I can't see stuff because it's so dirty. Emblem stamp. This is from the new release this spring, I believe, right? Yes.
Emblems. Yeah, I'm gonna.
It's got all of these elements on it. So it's got 4 sheets of little tiny things you can use.
Okay, I'm gonna link the emblems stamp. Now, if you're watching the replay, it's not gonna show up because I think the live chat goes away. I'm not really sure how that works.
It takes it a minute to process. So sometimes it can be a whole day till the live chat comes back. And then by then people aren't really looking for it.
Okay.
Okay, I don't remember if this got seasoned or not. I've used one of them, but it's gonna season real quick, not heavily, just in case it's already been done. 220 grit sandpaper. This is just gonna make the ink or paint or whatever you put on the silicone stick to that, because these are silicone stamps.
The old drop cloth will be up for sale. but I think I'm going to donate the money to charity, and it's kind of big. So I might cut it into like usable portions and then sell them that way. We'll see. That's a lofty goal. It's not happening this week. Maybe next week. Maybe next month. It's going to be in the garage, so I will eventually get through it. Okay, here is an IOD transfer. This is by any other name. I'm going to use a whole sheet, and I'm also hoping that it sticks to this because sometimes we have a struggle when it's already previously finished surfaces not painted by us. But this looks like it's going to release just fine. So
this is stuck.
What? The ink pad is
Yeah,
stuck?
so I'm using the blue. I'm going to see what it shows up. But yeah, it looks like maybe it had some ink under the lip there. Got it though. This is permanent ink from IOD.
It's their blue ink.
I forget.
I would stamp it on this and just make sure that you've got enough ink on that. It looks like a dry ink pad.
Yeah, I might need to. I'll go
Do
get
we
some
have
more.
blue ink?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Seb and I stayed up way too late last night watching Tournament of Champions and Star Trek. I don't know
Hey,
if you guys watched.
don't give them any spoilers if they haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
if you haven't watched Tournament of Champions, the new season, you should.
It's on Food Network.
It's amazing. I love this first bracket that they're doing. I love so many of the celebrity chefs that are on there. And I actually messaged Artie Sequeira, and I won't tell you why I messaged her, but I did. And she responded back to me and told me thank you. And she and Jet Tila have responded to me on Instagram, which I think is amazing because to me they're superstars, right? They're not like Zeb and I where we decide to have a YouTube channel. Like they're, famous network people pick them to put them on TV kind of a situation. But most of the and even Alex Garnaschelli, she's responded back to me on Instagram a few times. And so that's super fun. And Alex Garnaschelli actually has a lot of these Food Network people are starting to have YouTube channels. So
And they're doing podcasts.
yeah, and that's really
like
fun.
all on their own.
Beat Bobby Flay is such a fun, Bobby Flay, who from Beat Bobby Flay has a podcast, and I really like his podcast too.
Okay, so this is China Blue, not just the blue ink. China Blue permanent ink. It's the Decor ink.
I do occasionally sell some of my old stamps and molds, but not if I can't get them anymore. Just usually like my duplicates, because occasionally I will open more than one. I haven't for a while, but when we moved shops, no, that one looks good. When we moved shops, I had a bunch of duplicate stuff and I did a de-stashing sale, but I haven't really needed to do that for a while.
So with your stamps, these are so intricately detailed. You don't want to get too much ink on there because then it can make it look all like splotchy. Or
You think the blue is going to look good on that gray?
If it doesn't, I'll repaint.
Okay.
I already told myself this in my mind.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I already told them that. I'm like,
No.
I wasn't listening.
No, I've already thought it out. I'm like, the blue, because initially I was going to go with like a crockery or a to make it kind of look like a little crock, but the gray is good. I decided I liked the gray because the last ones I did were crockery, and we're here to show you new things.
We had drop cloth curtains for years. It was all the rage in the farmhouse world. They looked kind of like linen. I bleached them out. I didn't tell Zeb this, but I actually did order some floral curtains for maybe the front room. We'll see. I'm not sure if I'm going to like them.
For here?
Yeah. I just thought maybe it might add some softness to the room. If I don't like them, I'm not going to use them.
All right, I messed this up. I smeared it.
Well, I didn't mess up mine. Look how cute that is. It
wasn't so much smeared, but I missed a whole section, and I wasn't going to get that back.
I'm going to seal this with clear wax. Connie says, love the pictures of you skipping. Zeb loves to skip. And about 6 years ago, we did this tradition of
Started with Odelia.
Odelia skipping with her dad after the cheer banquet because there's always balloons. So now it's tradition. We have to do it every year.
We just randomly started skipping down the hall on that one.
Yeah, that one was random.
And now we have to do it all the time. Eliza even took her heels off. She's like, Dad, when are we going to go skip? I'm like, all right, I'm ready. I'm ready to go home. Let's do this.
Let's skip away. I'm going to do some words and a flower on this topiary. Oh, the white canisters as is. I'm glad that you caught me because those were literally my next victim.
Okay, that's how hard it is to fix a stamping mistake. It wasn't that it was, I didn't actually smear it. I missed a whole section of the stamp. I didn't press it down good.
Thanks. Caitlin says, look at my timing. I know. Are you at home yet? Or are you out and about with Spence and you're just on your phone? Caitlin's a workaholic, in case anybody didn't know. She works all the time. All the times. And she might come by it hereditarily because Zeb and I are constantly working. But, you know, when you love what you do. Okay, so I'm putting on here. I think I'm going to need a
Meryl's
butterfly.
dad was talking to me last night at the cheer banquet, and he's like, do you love it? Do you love going and thrifting for stuff? He's like, mostly what I see in your shop is, in his best way possible, he called it girly.
Meryl's dad, her mom said she hasn't been in, so he's been in, but she hasn't. Are you sure it was Meryl's dad?
Maybe he watched a video. Oh. I don't know.
Do you love buying girly stuff?
And I'm like,
I buy backpacks, okay? And
I missed another spot.
How many gun cases have you found?
I have found a bunch. I thrift all kinds of stuff. I just told him, I'm like, I just love that I can do this for a job. Like I get to go thrifting every day. And there's some things that I thrift that don't even ever make a video because I'm like, that has zero context to our channel. But like occasionally I'll get a table saw or something at the thrift store or a drill press.
And I feel like some men are afraid to do something that might be deemed non-masculine. But I feel like when you're secure in your masculinity, it's totally fine.
I could care less.
Yeah,
like,
Zeb does
zero
not
cares.
care. And I promise you, Zeb is a man's man. He's just secure and he knows what's good. So who cares? He's a man with style.
So again, I didn't get it pressed down there. I'm going to leave it because the last time I didn't get these edges on the little wreath that goes around there. And we're not getting the full image. It comes down about this far on these little pots, but I like that. I think that looks good.
Yeah. Let's just say that you wouldn't want to mess with that. He's pretty strong and
getting old though.
You are getting older, but you got that old man strength, right?
Sure.
You wouldn't want to mess with him and try to hurt anybody.
You know, as I've watched my dad get older, he's 73 now. He's very adaptive and able to do all the things he ever did, just in different ways. I feel like you figure it out.
The thing that you do that your dad doesn't do though is like you are more into like lifting weights and continually, like sometimes when your dad can't do stuff, he's like trying to figure out how to do it without hurting himself. And you're like, if I can't do this, I need to be stronger.
So my dad he grew up farming and he had about 8 cows, and some of them did not always come out producing milk. That's why he had so many cows. And so he would raise those other ones for meat, the steers. Anyway, he wasn't taking those to the butcher. He was doing that himself. So he figured out how to lift an entire cow. He made he took all this effort so that he could work less, mind you. My mom watches our videos. She probably see this and she's going to laugh. He enclosed off a quarter of their wraparound porch and closed that off, insulated it, figured out how to make a AC unit into a cooler. And then he also ran like a rail all the way down it so that he could lift the cow up onto the hook that went on this rail with his tractor and take it into the freezer. That way he could get to it when he had time. And he'd let it hang in season for like 30 days in there. And
the funny thing
is, he figured it out though.
The cow that he butchered was not a cow that like people typically raise for beef. So he like put a lot of
Holstein.
It was like he put a lot of effort into it, and you know, he made it as good as he could, but it wasn't like you know, if I'm going to go to a lot of effort, then I want like.
I'm like, Dad, why aren't you raising Wagyu beef over here?
I'm not butchering that.
Because you could. It's all about what you feed them.
It really didn't taste any different to me than, you know, just your average meat. But he got it done, okay? That's all that matters.
But anyway, all that to say, it doesn't matter that he got old and couldn't lift things. He figured out how to do it with his equipment that he had. And he could still build a little bit. He also used the tractor to lift the roof on that thing.
We could say Zeb has a very special set of skills. I think you got grip for grades. Oh, way to improve your GPA and pass your classes. And a free ranger
Frederick
meal.
just got home.
You got a free kids meal. Do they know how big you are?
He hasn't been eating kids meals for about 3 years.
But I could eat it. Frederick's been working really hard on getting his grades up, and I'm really proud of him.
Well, he's about to start on the high school football program, and they're very serious about their grades.
And he also wants to play in college, huh, Frederick? And what do we know about college? You got to have over a 3.5. You got to, and it's better if you have the size and the good grades. I'm glad that Eliza kept her grades up even when she didn't think she wanted to go to college, because now she's all gung-ho to go college. And she
can't say that, but she has ACTs tomorrow.
What did I say? Gung.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know. That's not a word you say.
It's not nice.
Oh, well, she's all excited about going to college. Scratch what I just said. I have no idea what that means. And she has the GPA. I always tell my kids, like, always have every opportunity open. Don't close doors on things you don't know about yet, because you just never know when working hard at something is going to pay off, or you change your mind and you want to do something else. Because you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Redrick just said it along with me.
So I was gonna distress these all up, but I think I'm just gonna leave them.
Let me see. I like that, but when
dark
you put
wax
it on when you put it on that pot, you lose half of the image.
Well, it comes with them. You don't have to leave it like that. You could just use it like this. You could even up and
I'll put a little knob on there. That could be cute. Libby says farmers are very creative when it comes to making work easier. That is a true story. Your dad sounds very resourceful. Lynn is very resourceful.
So resourceful.
So resourceful.
He can scuba dive and weld underwater at the same time. Like, he's certified for that in California. Like, this is the guy that raised me. He's also a pilot. And a diesel mechanic and an electrical engineer. Like, the list is very long.
My father-in-law and I occasionally don't see eye to eye on things, but that's mostly because we have very similar personalities. We execute things differently, but our personalities are pretty similar. I don't know if he'd like that, but it's the truth. All right, I've got two different, I don't always put something on both sides, but I'm doing two sides on this because I wanted to, so I did. So I've got this side and this side. And I'm going to distress the edges. I'll lightly go over the top. My in-laws have taught me a lot of things, so I can't. My mother-in-law and I have canned and sewn.
My mom is the big gardener. Like, and she's the big preserver. Like, if I need to know, like, hey mom, I'm at this elevation, how long should I leave this in the canner for? And what pressure and all that. And she knows most of that off the top of her head.
So in San Diego, we have a question about that. Sandra wants to know, we will be in San Diego April 10th and 11th. Our fee covers just our class. It's $99, and it's going to Kobe's with us, and then going back afterwards to do a Q&A and to go over all your thrift finds that you find at Kobe's. And then if you want to do other classes, Dion and Debbie will be selling those on their websites.
Our class is the first one on Friday morning, right?
Yes,
early
it is the
Friday
first one,
morning,
which is good because
we're kicking the event off.
It's good because Debbie knows that I get stressed.
Friday morning is dealer day, isn't it?
Yeah, it is dealer day. So they usually have
gonna be
better
good.
pricing. But it's nice because I can, not that I think I'm going to have fun. I know I'm going to have fun. I'm being positive, but I do get stressed. And so then I can do it. And then I'll be like totally relaxed the rest of the weekend, which would be nice. And it's not because I'm not good at public speaking. It's just because I really want everybody to have a great time. So I stress out about that.
And if you were wondering, I will be relaxed the whole time.
Zero cares in the world over here. Oh, I got to go. What time is it? Oh, it's 3:20.
What do we got again?
Jack.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I can keep painting while you run the boys around.
Yeah. All right. I'll leave you here. I'll be right back.
Jack and Redrick got to go work out. Got to get ready for football season. It's coming. Well, Jack has baseball season. He's still young enough. He has baseball season. But for the high school, these sports, I've said it many times, like it's a year-round deal to play a high school sport anymore. She left the mic. I might have to scooch over here where she was at because I got to be able to watch comments.
I got to drive your truck because we have everything we thrifted.
Keys are in there if you need them.
I got my keys.
I would agree, Laura. I think it would probably be fine, but some people have mentioned on the channel before and they took offense to it, and I don't know why. So I was just like, we don't want to offend people. Sandra, on the Q&A, we will answer just about everything, except for probably like the printer stuff. It's not like a tightly held secret. It's just we have retailers and things that we gotta help kind of protect our product, so to speak. I don't know. We'll call it proprietary. It took me a lot of time to land on what we use for the printer and the inks, and thousands and thousands of dollars invested in just research, figuring out what paper to use. So except for a few things like that and who makes our stencils for us, we would probably answer. We're pretty much an open book. When we used to do business coaching, we shared just about everything. I gotta scooch, guys. She's gonna be gone in like 10 minutes, so. But we have more to paint, so we're gonna stay on here with you. So Leslie answered, Laura. Leslie's got it. All right, I'm getting this painted in plum pudding here. I'm not gonna super stress about painting the inside down here right now. I wanna get it to the point where I can show you what it's gonna basically look like finished, and then off camera, I'll paint that inside good. This is fairly rustic, probably a shop project or something at some point. It's got like a hole, not a hole back here, but I love it. Someone needed something. It might have been not even a shop project, just like little garage at home deal. No one got graded on this in high school. They needed a letter holder and they made this. They had this, they probably had scrap wood from some other project or something and they went with it. So we have a moment. What do you want to see on the front of this? I've got a ton of different transfers. So comment before I get to going, because I'll probably do something big and floral on here, but we do have transfers that aren't necessarily big floral. Some of it depends on what I got here. Maybe I'll show you some options in a minute. Donna, shipping costs are not included on our items online. Because the website, it's kind of built in a little bit to some of them. Like some of the bigger items that we know the website isn't going to charge enough to ship, we do charge a little bit more for. It's typically still below market value. We try to keep that really close. Otherwise, we wouldn't sell anything if we weren't competitive price-wise. But the website will still charge you some shipping typically. Christine asked, is there a bus we're all taking to Kobe's or meeting there? We're meeting there because Jamie and I are flying in. We won't have a vehicle, and I don't think Debbie's going to have anything. So you'll need to get to Kobe's on your own, either Uber or it's about half hour away from where Debbie's shop is, or rent a car or something. If you got a friend in San Diego, hit them up. Carpool, if a couple people come in, like get cars, and we'll probably start a Facebook group so that you guys can communicate with each other, like where you're staying, you know, and because we've had it in the past where a few people have like bunked together, and that really helps cut the cost of the trip down, and they share a car and make a lifelong friend. Gina says something bright on here. Ellen likes all the bind type transfers we've been doing. Okay, we could do something up this side too. That could be fun. Yellow roses. Yellow and purple do go well together. Look at the Lakers. They've been very successful. This is a little bit different purple than that, though. Jamie would call this a sophisticated purple. And she'd do that with her hand. Judy, we will be in San Diego April 10th. I think Jamie dropped the link. I don't know. I don't think Caitlin's on here. I think she just popped on for a sec. Let me hold on just a second here. I'm over here on the computer while I heat gun. I'm gonna look and see if I can drop the link. Oh, if you go to a homepage on our website, it's right on the front page. And I'm viewing the full details here, and all the details about what we've been explaining are in there for that class. There's 18 spots available. I think we're about halfway. All right, I'm gonna drop it in. I got the link for you here. If you're watching on the replay, you'll have to go to the website and grab it. It's too many links to drop. This is not drying. It is really humid and rainy. The mountains got snow today, which is good. We needed that. All of the people skiing here in Utah, we've had a dry, warm winter, and now that the season's almost over, there's like tons of fresh powder up on the mountain. Savannah, I am solo right now for a minute. Jamie had to go grab Jack from school, and she's taking him and Redrick over to do their agility training they do for sports when they're in the off season. Gypsy Ruth, go Lakers. I have always been not a Lakers fan because before this I lived in Arizona, and the Lakers have always beat up on my Suns. And now they beat up on my Jazz now that I'm in Utah. I still actually like the Suns quite a bit. And I will cheer for the Lakers. They're from our division. If they go to the finals, I'll cheer for them. It's fun to watch them. They always have really fun, like big time players that come into town when they play the Jazz. So it's fun to go see them. Vic 59, yeah, USPS typically is the least expensive on smaller things. Once we get into like a box that would probably fit this, UPS and FedEx is typically less expensive. All right, okay. Floral. Everybody said something floral or viney. I've got these. I don't know what's inside the pack. Oop, just lost something out the bottom that we could do. Let me look and see. I'm gonna go off camera for just a sec. We also have these. I used a bunch of these up on the mirror. If you guys remember that mirror I did, I think it was last week. We did that. That's already gone and shipped out. Okay. I do like these. I think we can work with these. We'll build some stuff here. Sorry, I'm reading comments. Lane, you do need a heat gun. They are awesome. I did get a little bubble on this paint while I was reading comments. I held it in the same spot for too long, but that's okay. We'll distress and it'll be awesome. Okay, so I think we're gonna take a roundabout road here and then use some vines up the side. Maybe. Someone asked the other day, they were worried that their backer, that the transfers were coming off the backer. This is just designed to keep the sheets from sticking together. They're made to come off pretty easy. The actual grid is on the clear portion here. So if your transfer is doing that, it's not broken. It's what it's supposed to do. So don't stress it. Okay, well, I'm gonna try to cut through that vine there so that it looks like it's on purpose, and then we'll take a roundabout path over through here. Someone asked the other day, I'm just thinking about it while I'm cutting this and looking at vines because it's about to be garden season and we grow the garden right next to the cottage. I have been working on the cottage again. I will have a video out. So far, I don't really have anything but dusty, dirty pile of mess that the cottage is currently. Old construction with some new stuff I've put in, which always looks like a mess till you cover it up with new drywall or shiplap or plaster or whatever you're doing on your wall. But we should have a video out soon. I do have, we'll use the loose term hunting video. There's actually no hunting in the footage that we showed. Occasionally you will see me packing around a rifle, but really it's just a hike through the mountains looking at all the Utah fall color. And I'm going to put that video up probably next week. I've been meaning to, and I just haven't done it. Oh, we just lost the curtain rod on both sides. I didn't even touch it. Okay, so these flowers are going to go right here like this, kind of wandering up the front. I've committed to it. We're going to probably cut that there because I don't want to lose all of that greenery, and we can use it in another spot because it's got a lot of elements that I want. But so if you've been waiting patiently for like the last 6 months since I put a video up on Jamie and Zeb, hopefully soon we got a couple videos out. And as we get farther along with the cottage, there'll be more and more videos because Jamie's going to start putting in the pretty stuff. It's mostly been me over there knocking down walls and doing electrical up in the attic and stuff. Hang on, I got to get this curtain back up here. It's going to bug me. Among things I need to do, I never circled around and got the kitchen. This island is supposed to be fitted out with drawers and shelves, and it just has shelves and a curtain. We've lived here 5 years now. In January, it was 5 years. And 2029 is creeping up on us. If you don't know the joke, I told Jamie, I'm like, oh, I'll have the house finished by 2029. Man, it's not gonna, I don't know that that's gonna happen because we started new projects and done different things outside and inside faster than I can finish the projects that never got done in the first place. Like we put a new kitchen in here back in April, which I actually do really like it. I like the kitchen. I cook in here a lot, and so does Jamie. And the kids are all starting to cook. Jack is almost 12, our youngest, and ooh, that wasn't dry. Careful going over your paint when it's not dry. Push soft. And he's starting to cook. He's actually a little bit of a mess, so I've told him to slow his roll without supervision. But, you know, he's still 11 in 6th grade. We'll cut him a little bit of slack. But the girls basically cook all their meals because they're always so busy and going. Redrick doesn't really cook. He'll warm up some pre-made stuff or leftovers, but he's not a big cooker. He's plenty happy eating a whole box of cereal in one sitting versus like cooking a meal. But the kitchen has been a really good asset to have just how we want it and all done up. And I love this stove that Jamie got. In my mind, because I can be cheap. It's a known fact. I can be cheap and just be like, oh, that's good enough. Like the old stove we have cooked fine, right? But I do love a gas range that we have. And this has got convection on the inside here, which is awesome. All right, I will show you close in a minute what we're doing with these flowers. Yeah, fall or Halloween for this would be good too with the plum pudding. Fall or Halloween colors like some brown and orangey autumn tones. Yellows. The yellow roses would have been good. I didn't have enough to do the whole box. This has got quite a bit of flat surface area that's going to get a transfer. I'm having to be a little careful because I just barely put this on here. But it is coming off pretty good. I have this one little spot down here that I'm going to try to go in the reverse and roll it up off because it lifted the paint up off, and then we'll put sealer over the top. That's a fun little trick. Typically, if you guys aren't on a live stream video, what you want to do is just let your paint dry for a few hours, and then you can go put the transfer on. Your brothers used to compete to see how many bowls of cereal they could eat. You know, cereal, that gets expensive real quick. A box of cereal is like $6, $7 these days. 10 boxes, that's like a $60 meal. That's a pretty serious record. Redrick doesn't do quite that. He will eat like a big, it almost looks like a mixing bowl of cereal. He's probably about done growing. He's going to be 15 this summer, and I didn't really grow. Like I was a sophomore, and I didn't grow, and he's about to be a sophomore.
Why are you in my chair?
Because I had to read comments too.
Oh.
And we had the whole thing fall off. It's been a whole deal while you were gone.
Situation. Talk about how big. Redrick's still going to grow though.
Yeah, probably a little. We were talking about how much kids are eating, and that Redrick didn't really cook, but the girls cook a lot.
Yeah, Redrick does.
Getting the kitchen done, working on the cottage. Springtime's coming. I got to get the garden in soon. I was going to redo like all the planters, and we might not get to that because I got to finish Odelia's cottage there. Well, it's my cottage, but
plant some flowers.
It's my cottage, but Odelia's going to be living there. Well, it's going to have plenty of, we didn't really clear it out this last time, so it'll have plenty of volunteers.
The boys go to it. We pay for a gym that the boys go to with a trainer who works with them. They do classes, like it's a whole, like probably, I don't know, 15 boys. Or
It's
something.
probably the equivalent of going to tumbling if you're in gymnastics, essentially that.
Anyways, we're like a really great PE teacher with a small class. we live in, I don't know if you were talking about this, so I don't know if I'm good thing. We live in a very competitive area for sports.
I did say that sports are year round and they go to this.
Well, not just that, but competition breeds excellence. And if you want to have any opportunity to possibly play,
like you can be on the team, but you still might not play.
Yeah. You could be a really great player and not be as good as the guy ahead of you and not get played.
And our poor boys, Harrington was such an amazing athlete. Like he started his junior year on the varsity team. And so he kind of set the bar, and then he wrestled in college. And so we're like, come on, Redrick. And he's a total different personality. He's not as competitive as his brother, but he still loves to win. No one likes to lose.
Somebody says he actually does honeydews. Zeb kind of does honeydews.
My list is so long between honeydews and keeping the shop. Like the shop is a 130-year-old building that constantly needs my attention.
It may come to the point where I just hire things out and ask forgiveness later.
Okay, we got one transfer on. I have this little piece over here.
You just gave me side eye when I said that.
I did. I gave some serious side eye off camera. I don't pay another man to do my work. The trouble is we have so many properties and things now, like it's getting to be a full-time job just to keep them up.
Oh, that is
Between
true.
the cottage, the shop is 5,000 square feet of a 130-year-old building. And then the outside, I've already redone all the plumbing over there on the sprinkler system. It's a whole thing. Okay, so these are the ones that were left over. We're gonna plop these right here so some of them don't go to waste.
And I am feeling the staying up too late watching TV last night.
Well, I think it was we didn't do our regular work, but we were very busy between so we have a spot in the floor at the shop that's really starting to sag, and we knew about it. There was some termite damage somewhere along the way in that old building. They had remediated it before we bought it, and then we also did termite treatment for it when we took ownership. And so there are no termites in there currently, but the damage is done. And now that we're using it full time, and people, it's not just like a house, because it was a residence for 70 years. No, 50.
From the 60s. So
50 years it was a residence. It hasn't been a church for 50 years or so. 55 years.
Oh, it's been longer than that because it was 1955.
So 70 years. Hasn't been a church for 70 years.
Hot minute.
And it's been a residence the rest of its time. And so it wasn't getting like full heavy use, but we're starting to get like a pretty serious sag. And I was under there yesterday, and those floorboards that were pretty chewed up, the supports on there, now they're bouncy. I'm worried that whole floor is going to cave in, and it's got a pretty decent crawl space in there. It'd probably fall about 2 feet down if it did, and that would ruin a lot of inventory and be a lot of floor to fix.
Somebody said I should hire a handy woman since I can't hire a man. I could do some of the things, but Zeb also doesn't want me to do them.
I don't want a handy woman either. I'm not opposed to actually who's doing the work.
He's not gender specific. You get a handy person. You still don't want it.
Here's what it really comes down to. I'm cheap and I don't spend money on stuff I can do myself.
And I spend a lot of money. So I spend the money that Zeb saves. Although he spends plenty of money too. Don't let him fool you.
No.
But the thing is, when Zeb spends money, because it's for something, survivalist or whatever, he justifies it as like a need, as opposed to me, who's like, I need these new shoes. You know what I'm saying? Cynthia said she hired out the pruning of her orchard, and it was such a relief.
Jamie really wants to hire someone to mow the grass. I have a 14-year-old and an almost 12-year-old son living in this house that need to learn how to do some things and work. I am not hiring out the grass.
I need Redrick to mow our lawn like tomorrow because he gets out of school early, and I need my backyard.
He owes you a lot of money. Just take his phone. He does things really, really well when you have his phone in your pocket. Like, he is so good, and he will do the exact job you ask him to do. if you don't give that phone back until it's how you want it.
Well, today let's get Jack to clean up all the dog poo and toys, and then tomorrow Roger can come home because he gets out of school early, and he can mow the lawn if it's not snowing. And you might think, well, if it's going to snow, why would you need the lawn mowed? It's been so dang warm. There's like patches of chunky grass.
There's like green grass coming up where it's like we're overachiever grass over here.
And it really bothers me. And I like to lay in the backyard. We swim in the winter, so I spend time in the backyard. And we have pockets of great days. And I want to have a nice backyard when that pocket comes around. Marcella says, I hate to spend money on things I can do myself. I feel that. But there's also things like Zeb put up.
Here's the thing. I also am out of time.
Yeah, there's not a lot of
like
time.
If I just focused on doing all the things the house needs, I wouldn't really do any actual work. I wouldn't do these videos. I
have been trying to help out like as much as I can, but then I have like regular mom stuff that I need to do. You know, like people are like, we're out of bread. I'm like, again? You guys are hungry? Like, man, how many times I gotta buy food for you? I should just have it on auto ship. Like, this is how much we go through. You just have an auto ship delivery that comes every week.
But then the trouble is they change what they like.
Yeah, that's true.
And then we have like 42 loaves of bread that just went bad.
You're not wrong. The laundry list is never done. I can't complain. What I saw somebody say the other day, instead of I have to, say I get to. I get to buy groceries for my children and my husband that I love. I get to do the laundry for my children and my husband that I love. I have to keep telling myself that. And I really do appreciate it. I think back to where we were a decade ago and things that would have never even been imaginable. Like, I just couldn't have imagined it. And then these are things that we're like owning a commercial building, never on my bingo card. And yet here we are. So it's a privilege to be able to work on our own building. It really is.
Yeah.
What transfer is Deb using? He's using the Lost Garden.
Yes. Sorry. You started using it. I showed it to you guys. I think I forgot to tell you what it is.
Oh, did you link the grand opening?
Yeah. Someone was asking.
Usually I do all the linking. So you were like responding to people and linking things?
I'm very good at reading comments. What I'm not good at is getting my project done and reading comments and dropping links.
It is quite the multi-ADHD task to do that. And it's sometimes why I interrupt you, because I am simultaneously.
You're not even listening. You're reading a comment.
I'm reading comments. I'm also trying to like
have no idea what I just said, and vice versa.
We really need I have faucets that need to be put in. He did put in my mom's because hers was broken. And because I got
in reality, what I need is a year off. I could get everything done in a year, and then we could go back to working.
I also like my Zeb time. Like, he would work nonstop, and I'm like, but I need to hang out, or I'm not productive. I need time.
It's true. I would wake up.
But I think you need your Jamie time, even if you don't admit it. Because sometimes when we take a break from stuff, you're like, you know what?
No, it's not good. I get grumpy if we're like doing separate things. Like, I was grumpy yesterday afternoon at the cheer. Like, I was getting dressed for the cheer competition because it's like a formal event.
Getting dressed?
And so I was putting my suit on, and I was a little salty because I was torn. I was like, I need to go finish the cottage, but also don't want to miss the cheer competition. It was cheer banquet, and it was making me a little salty. I was conflicted inside. Okay. I am not going to put transfers on the back of this. It has the pocket holes and everything still in it. It's made to hang, and you just put 2 screws right here into the wall and you can hang it. But here's how that side's looking. It's kind of going up the side here. And then I'm going to do this one too.
There's lots of places for the paint to pool up here. So I'm mostly just pulling the paint out of crevices. I think this is probably good. I'm going to just dress it up for this. L. Arnold says, I used to say I'm blessed that my fully physical son dirties his baseball uniform almost every other day. Egyptian Ruth says, when my 5 kids in our family went through a whole loaf of bread every dinner. If that's like part of it, but we don't have, well, Zeb and Odelia don't really eat bread. And we only have 3 of our 5 children that are under the age of 18. So we don't go through, and Harrington hands down ate more than Redrick has ever considered.
Harrington probably doubled what Harrington.
He still does.
Yeah.
He still can eat Redrick under the table.
Redrick's just not a big eater.
Yeah.
In Harrington's defense, like he never stops moving. Like as an adult, he's 23 years old. He doesn't stop moving.
No, for real. He burns a lot of calories. Well, how are we painting your Eiffel Tower there?
I'm going to paint it one solid color and transfer the whole front of it.
All right. Let's do plum pudding. You want to pass that over and I'll do it for you?
Yep.
I'm going to let this dry because it's got a lot of cracks. So it's going to take a minute. There's no transportation to Kobe's. So you have to either carpool with other people coming, which we will try in the next week or so to set up a Facebook group, or you have to Uber. Zeb and I don't even have well, we do have transportation, but we are not going to have a car there.
Not gonna have
Definitely would be more expensive, and it also is really difficult to get people to be places at the same time, on time, without making other people late. Like it's just when you have a lot of people getting together. So everybody is responsible. We have a schedule, and everybody's responsible for being where they're supposed to be. But we will work on getting a Facebook group set up for you. And there is a train, right? Because there's a train that we
I don't know if it takes you to Kobe's.
Is there a station that's
it drives through there.
right through where Debbie's shop is, I feel like.
Yeah. Right through downtown Encinitas or Solana.
It's like right there on Highway 101. So I think that it would run through. I don't know.
Her old shop was in Encinitas.
I could probably Google it.
Her other old shop, we'll call it the COVID shop.
The COVID shop she bought during COVID. No, there's a train right there in Solana too. It's right there where the little walking trail is.
Yep.
Ground beef was $7.99 on sale. I feel like it's not been too bad at like Costco or Sam's Club. We went to Winco and we got ribeye for like $11. Now it was thin, not super high grade, but it was decent tasting. And it was $11 a pound, which I thought was pretty reasonable for ribeye. I actually said that I was going to make sweet pork for dinner, sweet pork burritos. So we'll see how far
it is time. Otherwise, we got to freeze that pork. Also fine if you're not feeling it.
What?
It's also fine to freeze it if you're not feeling like making dinner.
Right. I wake up, and the person I am in the morning that's full of life and ready to take on the world and make dinner is not the person I am in the evening. So I probably should have prepped everything this morning.
Although daylight savings time is Sunday, and she will have more life later in the day.
Yeah, because I will have more light. But I would have actually done it this morning, but we went to the shop. Are you going to paint the bottom?
Of this, yeah, because it's going to hang. Okay. I just haven't because I've been doing transfers and stuff. I wanted to get this done and show them.
Cynthia says she's not a fan of Winco meat. I didn't think I would be either, but I didn't think it was too bad.
No, it was fine. Okay, I'm going to do this side here. We got the insides kind of done. Those just kind of trailed around.
Do I know if anybody else is going from the Chandler area? I don't. Sorry, we just put tickets on sale last week, so we haven't really dove into that yet. But I will check with Debbie, and maybe she'll just let me make the group and put people in it. Paula says she loves the look you gave me when I mentioned floral curtains. I don't think you mind floral curtains. I just think we haven't had curtains. He probably doesn't want to hang them. Let's be real.
No, we've been 5 years without curtains on the front. I kind of like looking out the front.
Well, I'm probably not going to close them.
Oh, they'll just be for looks.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna hang them wider than the window. We might actually have to move some stuff over slightly because I was thinking about that. But yeah,
what kind of floral are they? All like bright and pink and yellow?
They got some colors on them. They're blue.
I don't mind like solid color florals.
No, they're gonna be the kind of floral you know what I like. But we'll see if they go well with the blue we have going on here. I like to mix and match stuff. Some people say, oh, that doesn't go together. But then when you get it all together, like, oh, that room looks really cozy. Yeah, because not everything has to be perfectly matchy-matchy.
I'm big into matching.
They said the Lost Garden transfer would look good on a metal toolbox. I feel like we might have used it on a metal toolbox before. We did a lot when it first came out, and I haven't had one in my box owed transfers for a while, and I went and just grabbed one.
We ran through a couple transfers last week.
Yeah. Well, when Lost Garden came out, they sold out of them very quickly at Iron Orchid Designs, and so we weren't using them. And then for a while, we just need to make sure the customers had access to them. And then I kind of forgot about it because Christmas came and all the things. And so I went the other day and really just kind of dug through the stuff and found it. You know, painting raw wood is so much easier than shiny wood. Like, look how well this is covering. I mean, plum pudding covers stuff well anyways. I love the Gilbert area, by the way. You guys heard about Gilbert?
She just likes that everything's new.
But I like Old Town, like Mesa Gilbert area.
I think what you like is the flow. Like all the streets are wide. It's easy to drive around.
I like to be there in the winter.
The grocery stores and shopping is new.
I've got family there. I got so many cute nieces and nephews. I'm probably going to need to do a second coat before I put transfers on, I think. I wonder if whoever bought this realized we were going to do a purple Eiffel Tower. I like this purple, though, because it's like a gray purple.
Yeah, it looks a little, it looks like it could be metal from across the room.
Yeah, it's a good purple. When I wanted to come out with a purple, Debbie's like, purples aren't always like super great sellers. I'm like, I promise you, I will come up with a good shade of purple. And plum pudding thus far has been really good. And every spring when we start bringing out the purples and the pinks, which this is a good fall purple too, they sell really well. Yeah, Gilbert is next to Phoenix, but it's closer to Mesa. It was like Mesa, Chandler, and then Gilbert's kind of off in a corner.
It's East Valley.
If you're familiar with Arizona at all. And it's a very big metropolis area. So it could take you an hour to get to Phoenix from Gilbert. Or 2 hours, depending on traffic. I have never personally lived in Chandler. I've lived in Tucson. I've lived in Prescott in Arizona.
I lived in Mesa as a kid, and my grandparents lived in Mesa, so I've been down there tons. I had an uncle that lived in Gilbert for a long time.
Heat, bugs, and snakes. There's not that many bugs in Arizona, are there?
Monsoon.
I guess because it doesn't like get so cold there that they kill off. I don't feel like it's not like the South.
No,
like,
it's not like that kind of bugs. The kind of bugs they have are like
scorpions,
and
tarantulas that are actually harmless. Scorpions are not harmless.
If a tarantula bites you, it will make you sick, but they can't bite you.
They usually don't.
It's hard for them to bite you unless you like curl your hand or whatever.
Marcella said plum pudding. Oh, in Mississippi. Oh, they're bugs. I ain't never seen spiders like I did when I was in the South. I remember the first time we went to Nashville, I was like, I'm not going in that Airbnb.
Well, we left.
There was 200 spiders over the front door. And when I was going to complain to my friend who lived there, she's like, oh, the host isn't going to do anything. They'll all be back tomorrow. And I'm like,
well, one time we left in the morning, right? No spiders over the front porch. We come back at night and it's like a whole like Charlotte's Web situation on the front porch.
And you know, when it's something you're not used to, you're like, you people live this way? And I'm sure they think the same thing of us because they come out here and their skin cracks because we're so dry. They're like, you live this way? You're always more comfortable with what, well, I shouldn't say you're always more comfortable with what you're used to because I lived where it was very hot. And I was used to it, but I never liked it. Well, they're talking about the humidity. Aren't your parents like putting up a bunch of like dry goods and they're having to vacuum seal it because it gets moist and damp?
They bought a bunch of like oats and wheat and things like that, and they're vacuum sealing all of it in jars.
We got bags of rice in the basement and they're fine.
They're just chilling out.
Nobody's messing with them. All right, I don't know if I want to do Lost Garden. Maybe I'll bust.
Oh, we lost a big old section there. Maybe I'm gonna have to see if I can stick that down.
Are you using my transfer stick?
with sealer. This paint is very fresh.
Are you done putting transfers?
No, I need to do some up this side, but
Okay, I'll just go grab another stick.
can you, actually, I'll just use some liquid patina.
What you need?
I got it.
Okay. We've been live this whole time. We need to get at least one of these done.
Oh, did we
One
even?
of them sold.
Oh, we did sell one. Okay.
Yeah. We need to at least finish the projects that sold.
Okay, so the paint is wanting to peel up with the transfer right here, so I'm just going to seal over this delicately. And it's like decoupage. Because what happened is, this is probably one of the spots when I was watching the comments earlier when Jamie was gone, and I burned the paint a little bit. Can't guarantee it, but it didn't stick good when I was putting the transfer. So the paint was peeling up with the transfer stuck to it, and I managed to get that off of the paper and into my design. And so now I'm basically just sealing it on there. Yeah.
Mine's sticking just great, but that's also because this was raw wood, so that paint just really stuck down on there.
All right, I'm going to put this over to the side. You guys get the idea. I can finish transferring this later. I just have this one side. I'm going to go up, distress it, and then probably do some clear wax on the transfer. And I might do some up here too.
We have about 28 minutes. Well, actually 25 minutes, and then we need to go get the boys. So whatever we need done in 25 minutes. Oops, careful. It's sliding on me. We're gonna make Eliza get the boys. She's home.
Is she?
Yeah. She had practice today. They have their showcase, cheer showcase. A lot of people don't realize this. I put it in the post that I made today of Zeb skipping with my daughter Eliza. But maybe not every cheer squad is this way, but our cheer squad is year round. They get about 4 weeks off a year total. And they not only have their own competitions, but they support not every, but quite a few of the other teams at the school. So they're doing their own stuff. Then they're showing up to other people's stuff and they're supporting them. And it is a lot of commitment and time. And these girls are just like crazy good athletes. They're so like such big sweethearts. And yes, nobody's perfect. There are girls that get catty and whatever, but they're learning to be humans. And I would venture to say that across multiple platforms of teenagers, you're going to have the girls that are not perfect. And you know what? You're going to have girls that maybe one day they're not perfect, but then they figure it out and they're nice. Like, it's just life. I don't know why sometimes people give cheerleaders a bad rap, and it's just not cool because I've spent a lot of time around them and I really like them, but they work so hard. And so when you don't even think about it till the cheer coach is going over the long list of things they've been doing all year long. I'm like, holy moly, these girls are athletes in every shape of the word. I think back in every shape of the word. I think back in the day when they would just cheer and there were not competitions. And then they have like
plaster.
Yeah. You'd have separate cheerleaders for basketball, separate cheerleaders for football. It's kind of a different thing. But these girls, that's not the case. I think I'm going to divide this in half and do the bottom of that.
Here, we need to get away from my...
Okay, I don't want you to splatter on me. Can I have scissors? If you want something signed, you have to email Caitlin before it gets shipped out. We don't sign everything because we don't, well, first of all, it takes forever, but also some people don't want our signature on their stuff. Not everybody wants that on their decor. So if you do need something signed, email info@jamierayvintage.com with your order number. And if it hasn't been shipped out, we will definitely sign it. It happens. We probably sign about one thing every couple of weeks. Denise says, you absolutely did the right color plum pudding because I don't own anything purple, but I would put that would complement anything. Thank you. That is very sweet of you to say. Coming up with new colors can be pretty stressful because you got to make sure that even if it's a good color, you got to make sure it's something people will use because the manufacturer invests a lot of money in, creating the new colors and the research that goes into that. And you just want to make sure that it's good for them.
Getting the formula just right and hoping the pigments work with your formula. Because not all pigments are even created equal. Some of them don't work in different bases, and
the struggle is real sometimes. Trying to get this around the edge here, so it's a little bit difficult because I'm going to put the rest of this on the other side of the Eiffel Tower. Maybe I'll just cut this. There we go. I'm getting there. I'm using Saint Germain. I don't know if I told you guys, so.
all right.
I thought you were going to leave some of that black.
Well, I'm going to distress it through.
That'll be good. I'm glad that you're painting.
I was going to leave it all black because sometimes I think a transfer looks really good on black,
Yeah.
but
For sure.
But our theme is not typically like all black stuff. So I want to try to keep it in the realm of things we would normally paint.
Sometimes I do stuff like
Because a lot of people, when they buy these things before we finish them, like they're like, oh, they're probably going to finish it like XYZ. And then I go and do something weird and put a bunch of like salt wash or something on it. Salt wash is not weird. I love it.
Vic 59. Sometimes we have things planned out what we're going to do, and sometimes I just look at it and then I pick what I'm going to do. A lot of times if we're doing like an edited video and you see us like knock out a ton of projects, I will sit there, look at them and divide things up how I want them painted and what I'm going to do with them before I get started. When we're live, we typically just...
We're winging it over here.
Yeah. Winging is a relative word considering we've painted thousands of projects. So we're kind of like, you know, we're experts in this field. I don't know how popular it is to be an expert in this field, but we are. We have done tons and tons of projects. Okay, I'm going to lightly distress my Eiffel Tower because it was not finished before. That light color is going to come through, and it's going to just be a nice highlight to the edge of this piece. And then all I have to do is seal it. And I will show you guys this up close. We have thought about stamping stuff, but sometimes it's a time constraint. Sometimes it doesn't stamp very well. So it's just one of those things.
I stamped stuff earlier.
With the birdie stamp?
Mm-hmm. No, not with the bird stamp.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about.
Oh.
Yeah, we do use stamps.
I used emblems, the new emblems stamp.
I did order a bunch of Jamie Ray vintage stickers, so most of the packages go out with a Jamie Ray vintage sticker now. Ta-da!
This is just how I imagined it.
Is it?
Yep.
Everything.
That was the plan when I picked it up. I'm like, I'm going to paint this one solid color and put a bunch of transfers on the front.
I needed something on the tip of the tower. So I'm going to use this little tiny flower. There we go. I saw it in the screen and I was like, nope, it's not done yet. Okay. Ta-da! All right. 2 little projects done. This is dry. Okay. Actually, 3 projects because this is done.
I got my boxes over here too.
I do. Well, I'm just saying what I've personally done. I do have to wax my stuff, but I'll do that off camera.
Yeah, we just wax over the transfers because the transfers don't have a sealer. They're just what they are. So you want to seal something over them if you're going to do more than just look at them on a shelf.
Yeah, I use DIY clear wax. I will, that topiary, what we've been doing, which maybe is helpful to you guys, is we've been duplicating the old listings and then creating new listings and deleting the old listings. So that way If we paint something, it's towards the top right, kind of when it gets done. And it feels like we've been selling more painted stuff because it's easier for people to find without having to like search.
Or to figure out what we named it. That could go real weird real quick.
Yeah, you just never know. Did we misspell it? Yep, Caitlin is back on here. Yes, Cheshire is a blue-green, more green than blue. I feel like, oh, maybe more blue than green. And it is like an old blue-green. It's actually Pantry Drawer and Sweetie Jane 50-50. It's our custom color mix we've been making forever. And we came out with it in the bespoke line. Seb, can you grab me the little paintbrush? I'm going to kind of pull out the paint and all these
yeah,
cracks.
You got some big
globulins.
Yeah, we'll call it that.
Yeah. And they're going to be all day drying if I don't pull them out of here. So.
All right, 2 coats. I'm pretty happy with that coverage on this black. Black is notorious. Black and yellow. Red is hard to cover over.
Well, that needs another coat.
Yeah. I just put it up.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying like 2 coats and done. I was like.
No, we're pretty much there. You guys can see on camera, it looks pretty solid. It's got some streaks that I can see, but on camera, the light's blinding your eye. You can't even tell I need to paint this more.
But in real life.
In real life, I gotta paint it more.
All right, I'm not gonna I was gonna see if some dark color would come through if I distressed it, but it turns out it's ivory over ivory, so no dark.
You're gonna need to wax that.
Yeah, it needs well, I might. Oh,
you could dry brush
the details.
You know what would look good on that dry brush
Gold.
is some Pacific or gold. Gold does look good. And that will hit all those details and match the middle here.
Yeah. I just gotta make sure all this paint is pulled up. I don't want to blend it. There are rattlesnakes in the desert. I mean, there's rattlesnakes not in the desert.
I mean, we got rattlesnakes here in Utah. It snows.
I've not seen a ton of rattlesnakes, but I don't really spend a ton of time in the wilderness.
I spend a lot of time in the wilderness, and I haven't seen any rattlesnakes in Utah, but I know they're out there.
I feel like Zeb, whenever we go somewhere and we camp, he makes a little round of the camping area just to make sure that nothing not great is going to scare me.
You got to set your perimeter.
Yeah. He walks in, make sure there's nothing that he can control.
I've also been known I've also been known to clear out cactus, because a lot of times the kids get to running around in the dark and playing, and I have had kids come to me with especially with the youth at church will go on a camp out or something. We used to do scouts for a lot of years. The church stopped doing Boy Scouts of America in 2018.
We still do camping,
but we still the youth program still goes and does camps and youth camps and all kinds of fun stuff like that still. We just do it through our church programs now instead of using a third-party Boy Scouts program. And the girls do a lot more stuff with us now too. We have the kids are going on Trek, which has been a thing for a while, but Trek is a lot of fun. They basically reenact the pioneers coming across the plains.
Yeah, I put my heat gun off to the side with the end facing that way because if I put it up like this, I have had them knock over. Seb faces his upwards because that's just, I don't know.
What?
You face yours upwards. They said that I'm a facer downer and you're a facer.
Face what?
Your heat gun.
Oh, you point yours down like this?
No, I mean when it's.
Yeah, because sometimes it'll tip over or burn my table.
Maybe.
There's a lot of burn spots over there.
That is true. This is reclaimed wood, and I'm just making it look more reclaimed.
But also, sometimes the cords get wrapped around this, and they're all twisty, and so they want to flop over if you try to stand it up like this. So watch out for that. The cord has some tension in the wire, and it'll spring it over to the side.
Okay, so I'm slowly dry brushing gold onto this. I think you guys can see that. Tracy says, I stepped outside yesterday and my delivery person was walking up with my JRV box. It had 19 items. I apologized to him. He was a good sport. Oh, they are used to moving lots of boxes. Can you imagine our delivery guy that comes to the shop? I mean, it's what keeps him in business.
So he makes a special stop at the shop these days just to like he'll go do he used to come in the middle of the day, right? He'll go do his whole run now, and then he'll come back and pick up because it fills his truck up a lot of times because you guys are awesome.
He ain't got no room for that.
And that's most every day, especially like around like when we got a new product like IOD out, and Jamie's been doing a good job like keeping fun clothing and jewelry and stuff in the shop.
Listen, I'm good at shopping, but I'm subsequently good at selling.
And really just, you know, thrift finds, those are always the fun packages because they come in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah. Actually, oh, you know what I do need to do when I pick up the boys? I also got to grab one more FedEx package, and then I got to drop off Cortrina's bench and a couple other things. So I got FedEx to do. So maybe you can stay here and finish your stuff you got to do the backside of and whatnot and get this all tidied up.
Okay.
And then we got to do the thrift haul from today, but we might have to put it in the garage. We're going to lose our light.
Yeah, it might not be. We might just have to do that tomorrow after the Waste Not Wednesday.
No, that'll be fine.
I don't have anything until 3:30.
Yeah.
I got to take Redrick. Redrick, if you don't know, right before we went to California last week for Cheer Nationals, is that last week or has it been 2 weeks now? We're a week and a half out of it. He rolled his ankle super bad, and he has an avulsion fracture, which is where his tendon wanted to rip off of his leg, and instead of ripping, it just took a little chunk of bone off with it instead of the actual tendon ripping. We got to go get that x-rayed, see how that's healing up, if it is or if it isn't, and make a course of action if it is not. He said 9 times out of 10, it just reattaches, or the body just absorbs that little piece of bone that's not where it's supposed to be, because the bone will die because it's not connected to the rest of the bone, and so the body will just absorb it.
He really needs to get to it as far as like off-season training goes in, so we're just really hoping that it's good to go.
He's walking. He ran up the stairs the other day when he didn't think anybody was watching. Typical teenager. He does what he wants to do when he wants to do it, and when he doesn't want to do something, he's like, "Oh, my ankle, Dad, my ankle."
We actually just left the big bench the way that it was because that's how Cortrina wanted it.
Yep, and it's good. Like Jamie had it up in our room, and she was like, "I really love this floral."
I'll show you this dry brushing up close. I think I'm also going to do some dark wax. I think you have to do layers of dry brushing, I feel like, and it works best on things like this that are super detailed.
So if you just joined us or you came in late, I used this month's subscription paper on these boxes. And this is one of the papers. There are actually 4 of them, different designs. So if you go check out the subscription on the website, you can see what this month's paper looks like. We actually are down to, I think it's the 3rd, we're down to about 9 more days, and then the subscription rolls over into April already. These are March's papers. We do them about a month ahead of time, about 20 days before the month rolls over. That way you guys have time to get them and do something for the next season coming up.
Do you have dark wax over there, or is this the only can?
I don't have clear wax over here.
Oh, okay.
So if you want these ones or you want that element, because that's only in the subscription paper right now, that you got about 9 more days to get it and subscribe, or you can do a one-off. You don't have to do the full subscription. You're going to save a little more if you subscribe month to month. But if you do a one-time, you can purchase it just one time.
Some people don't like subscriptions, and I get that. I don't want to subscribe to everything I want. There are some things that I love, and I'm so glad to subscribe.
Well, we have
to them.
some people that like they'll get it, and then they'll wait until the next month comes out to make sure it's papers that they want, and then they'll get that. I try real hard to kind of have like a theme of the year, and this year's been like floral and ephemera. I did break the mold a little with the labels, but that's mostly because I wanted to do the labels.
Sometimes he just does what he wants, all willy-nilly. But
a lot of times I do that.
I like to have subscriptions on things that I know I'm going to want. There's also a lot of people that are like, you must have kicked that out earlier.
The whole thing fell down.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't even bumping it, it just fell.
But a lot of people, they get a lot of projects done because the new things come every month and then they use them. Just make sure I didn't miss any questions. I've actually already sent my designs for next month's stencils. My Deb designs all the papers in-house, and we have the commercial printers here and do them, so it's not as much like.
I don't have to have as much lead time.
Yeah,
I can be like, you know, I worked on these and we were going to use them for this if I'm in a crunch and break them out. I typically have about 10 or 15 designs ready to go at any time, just because I like to play around with it and design them because it's fun. It's what I do when I can't sleep, kind of thing.
Kathy's Curations, if you want to order the papers and you forgot and they haven't shipped yet, you could always email info@janemarieventures.com and Caitlin will add it to your order. She can do that. I'm just adding dark wax because I felt like it needed a little bit more detail. You can see the difference between the light side and the dark side. I just feel like the dark wax is really just hitting it the right way. Sometimes I have to keep messing. I thought that I could just do the plaster and be done, but then I was like, nope, didn't like it. So kept going.
All right. I have Madeline out trying to find some elements that we haven't used. It's got a lot of long streamers on it. Oh, that'll be good. That's going to be perfect. Okay. I'll show you the whole book in a sec. We got to kind of hurry. We got to pick the boys up in 5 minutes.
Oh, I got to leave in like 4 minutes.
Nah, they're fine if you're a minute or two late. They're usually not even out there waiting on me. I got to call Redrick and be like, hey.
Tuesday. I think Thursday is the day that, although I think Kenny he's a lacrosse coach. So I feel like he
kicks them out.
He has to be done sooner to get to lacrosse. We were setting up the cheer banquet last night, and the lacrosse boys came in after practice. They were starving. And
they like walked right through, and we had
smell that food. Those boys wanted, and the sad thing is, we could have probably fed them all because we had so much left over. But
they had so much food left over. Sent it home with people. All right, where'd that transfer stick go? Do you have it over here? You do. Okay, this is what I decided on Madeline. It's gonna be awesome. Madeline, something like that.
Madeline, probably Madeline. Although as soon as I say that, it'll be something else. Hello, Bree and Eddie from San Antonio. How's the weather? I haven't been watching the weather in Texas, so I don't know.
I usually know because my sister Barbara lives north of Houston, although San Antonio is a ways away from Houston.
Texas is a big state. It's like 2 European countries.
Really? Oh, I think France is about the size of Texas.
Yeah. France is a pretty big country, comparatively. All right. Ta-da! Now that looks the way I want to. Is there anything you need me to help you with?
No. If you want to clean it up, I can pan it.
Okay. I need to clean up the plastic cover on this. But I'll do that afterwards. I'm going to set this all out, and then I'm going to say goodbye and go grab those boys. It's helpful if I have the design facing forward. Pots.
I am going to distress this some. I think it would just look better if some of that black was coming back through.
All right, I'm out of here. Zeb's going to finish his stuff, and then he will slow pan this for you, although I won't be here to tell him if he's in the queue. So,
I might flip the computer around so I can watch it.
oh, that would be smart. I think they can actually see everything.
I mean,
from
I'm going to
there.
be done in about 3 seconds and
I'll
showing
just
them.
wait. Okay, you are right. The boys can wait. Odelia, is she moving to the cottage soon?
Huh.
Soonish.
If I get over there to work on it, no one wants to help me. Jamie's been over a couple times, and
Listen,
Odelia's
Linda,
been
somebody
over
has to
once.
run the house.
I'm mostly talking about Odelia. She
Oh.
wants to move in, and she's the one that has
All right.
a lot of extra time. Well, she's going to school and working, but
Hey,
she has extra time.
Your up close glamour shot. I almost said grammar shot.
Where's my purple thing?
The purple thing.
The organizer.
Oh.
I didn't get the
I knew
hooks
there was
back on
something
it
else.
yet, but
All right, I'll put it over here.
okay. So we got these little pots that we did.
We gotta
Those are
clean up.
stamped.
One of
with,
them has dirt in it, so we're gonna have to.
Yeah, I gotta wipe the dirt out.
I think they can see it. I'm gonna bounce.
Okay.
If you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jamie Ray Vintage for more
DIY.
and thrifting.
All right, so transfers, decoupage, decoupage with the rice paper. Transfers, decoupage, rice paper. Transfer, paint, transfer on those. Didn't paint this, just did the transfer on it. Stamps with ink, and then paint. Oh, she went all gold with that. All right. Okay, we already said bye, so I am going to catch you guys later. We will be on tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Time for Waste Not Wednesday. Let me get you a good shot. Hold it still so you're not getting sick. And we will see you in the morning. Thanks for hanging out with us.